Okay, so we're gonna start now. It's 11:10 a.m. on the 16th of April, Thursday. What I've actually done is I've got my iPad there as well, where I am doing this on Facebook Live on my profile. So people on Facebook, I'll be sharing charts on the Zoom call. So in the future, if you want to see what charts we're talking about, jump onto the Zoom call as well. The link I will share with you later. On people on the Zoom, thank you all for coming. We've been doing this for a couple of weeks now, a couple of days now already, almost 2 weeks. Every day I'll be talking about a different currency pair. Today is Thursday, so today we'll be talking about the yen, US yen, pound yen, euro yen, everything about the yen, and also the gold. What I call today would be probably a reserve currency day. So a currency and commodity day, we'll be talking about all that. On Fridays, we talk about CAD, the US CAD and oil. On Mondays is Aussie and Kiwi. On Tuesdays is Euro. On Wednesdays is pound, right? So we'll be talking about all the different currency pairs on different days, giving you both. This is directed to both investors and also traders, because I'll be looking at a longer time frame for investors to let you plan out a bit of your financials and where to move money towards if you're doing any investments. And also for traders, where I'll be looking to the smaller time frames so that you know what you should be trading, whether into the medium term or into the shorter term periods, which currency pairs to focus on. First time I'm doing this is I'm going to be putting a disclaimer out there to say that everything I share here, it's really my point of view. So if you're going to be jumping into any trades, do make your own analysis as well. Take this as a bit of a support towards your own trading analysis. Okay. So as we have more people flowing into the Zoom call, let's get started. Today we'll be looking at the yen pairs. So let me just share my screen. Oops. Alrighty. So got a couple of guys there. Can you show me a thumbs up if you can see my chart? Alrighty. Okay. So, just moved a bit while we're talking. US yen. Let's start with the US yen on the daily chart. Why I look at this on the daily chart is to get a broader overview of how the market, how that currency pair has been doing, and also because for investors, you want to look at the longer time frame. You look at the daily chart. Right now, how the US yen is doing is actually been reacting to the 107.40 level. Is at 107.85. So it's reacting at that support level right now. Likelihood, I look at it as a possible upward move for the US yen, as we see possible weakening of the yen, or as of yesterday, we've seen some strengthening of the US dollar as well. So very quickly off the bat, I look at this as it's hit a support level with a possible move upwards. Okay, so on the bigger time frame, I'm looking at that for the US yen. By the way, for all those on the Zoom call or also on the Facebook Live, if you have any questions, plunk it into the chat or put it into the comments. And then once I see it, I will respond. If I don't see it, I will respond to you later when I do see it. Okay. So US yen reacting off the 10740 level, possibly moving higher. Obviously, we will need to look at what are the triggers of it to push it higher, which I'll come to later. Looking at it in the smaller time frame, we have it on the 4-hour chart right now, and it's really been sitting at that zone. You can really see it reacting to that zone. Everyone on Zoom, give me a nod if you agree. All right, excellent. So with that level, you don't expect support levels to break. You expect support levels to hold and bounce off unless there is some massive economic reason or breaking news that comes out, which is negative for the US dollar or going to be positive or negative for the US dollar or negative for or positive for the yen. So that's going to push it lower. But at this point now, we think that, it looks like the yen could bounce off the support level higher. At this point now, I also want to draw your attention towards last week's analysis, what I did last week, where I was looking at the US yen. I was saying that if you can see that little pink line that I have on the chart here, again, those of you on Facebook Live, jump onto the Zoom call, there you can see the charts as well. We were looking at it saying that yen would be moving horizontal before dropping towards the 107 level. It's like 107.40 level. That's actually exactly what it did. So I'm quite happy about that call from last week. Let's look at it this week. I think that as we see it, hang on, take that away. As we see it moving across at this point, we could see doing that before a upward move to this point. So I think that we could see that bounce off again. Whether it goes all the way up to 112, I'm still not so sure. But I think that if it does bounce off, we could look at a good 100 pip stop loss with a possible 350 pip take profit. All right, so a risk of 100 pips to a profit of 350 is going to be fantastic. But even if we don't hit that level, you come to a profit of about 200, it's still a risk of 100 to try to hit 200. That's a very good risk reward ratio, right? So that would be a trade I would be quite keen to pay attention to, given that it does break above this support level quite strongly. Does it make sense to you? Any questions at this point on both sides? Nope. Okay. What happens if it does drop? I always try and tell you that as you trade, try and maintain your flexibility. Make sure there's a trigger. All right. Economic reason, news breaking from the US or news breaking from Japan, where there's a reason for it to go lower. It's also quite a good trade if it does break lower. Has to go below 106.50, maybe 106.60. We got a stop loss again of a bit more at this point, 150 pips, but your profit could be about 400 pips. So you're looking at again 150 pips stop loss with a 400 pip take profit if it's going to move towards the downside. But at this point, if I were to stick my neck out and say where is it likely to be heading, I think my bias would be towards the upside for the US yen. If you're happy with that, I'm going to move on. Any objections? Nope, everyone's nodding their heads. Fantastic. So we got the Euro yen right now. Again, I keep reminding you, if you're on Facebook Live, jump onto the Zoom call. This is where all the charts are. Euro yen, it's been moving in that tight range. Let me zoom out a little bit. You can see it moving across. It's been moving in that range for, about a month now, about more than a month now. What is it going to do? I really do believe at this point that it is going to stay within that range. It has bounced off this level at 117 a couple of times now. It did that earlier in the month, in April. It did that in the middle, earlier in March as well. It did that several times last year. So this seems to be quite a good, a strong level, or a good level to be bouncing off for the Euro yen. It looks like it's trying to do that again now on the daily chart, right? So can it bounce off? Again, I will take you to the triggers later. But it's not going to be something I'm going to be very interested in, right? Euro yen, I'm looking at it, it's not a pair that I'll be very keen on actively trading, because look at the volatility, right? You see big tails spiking up, spiking down, a lot of reversals, a lot of quick moves upwards before a quick retracement back down again. So I would be a bit more careful if I was trying to trade the Euro yen. on the smaller time frame now. I want to share with you what we looked at last week. Again, I must have been on a roll last week on Thursday, right? We shared that Euro Yen, look at the pink line. It was at that point, I expected it to move a little bit higher before dropping back down. It did exactly that, right? It moved higher. It moved towards the 11880 level before coming back down. I drew my line a bit lower towards the support. It went to about 11676 before stopping there and possibly going to bounce back up again. So I try and do a bit more projections and calls in terms of this when I do these trades for you guys, because I also want to share with you about my thought process and how I try and plan my trades, right? So these are really how we plan trades. While you want to react to your trades, you also want to plan so you know what you're waiting for. So it's not just about sitting there waiting for your charts. If it moves, jump into a trade. It's sitting there and understanding, going, hey, where am I planning these trades? Have a bias. If it does move upwards, where is it going to retrace back down to? Which trades do I want to jump into? So that's one of the Euro Yen pairs that I was very happy to be trading on, trading that downward move. Okay, so Euro Yen, at this point, I'm looking for it to bounce back up, react to that 117 level to bounce back up, possibly towards the 118. Would I trade it back up? Probably not, but if it does bounce towards 118 or 119 level, I'll look for it to drop back down and trade it back down again. So at this point, if I were to draw a line, I would say that it could go back up, but it's not a trade that I would be looking to do. I'll be looking for the move back down again. Make sense to you all so far? I haven't checked the chat. Any questions on the chat right now? Nope, no questions on chat. Okay. Everyone's all zoomed in, focusing on what I'm talking about. After the Euro Yen, let's look at the Pound Yen, right? Pound Yen has been a bit uncharacteristically quiet, if that's a good way to describe it. All right. Why I say that is because on the daily chart, you look at it and it's really been sitting at that 135, 13540, 13500 level. It's been at that resistance there, right? It hasn't done that much because pound has been a bit volatile. The yen has been, a bit volatile as well. So because it's the pound yen, as the pound moves up and down, it counteracts against the yen as well. So it's been sitting at that resistance level with no real push towards it going either higher or lower. So in the bigger time frame, looking at pound yen on the daily chart, I'll be a bit more careful because it's at a resistance level. So if it does break higher, it's going to rocket, right? If it does break above this 13540 level, I do expect that it's going to keep shooting higher, maybe towards the 140 level. But again, if I would have to try and predict it a little bit, I don't think that the likelihood of it going higher is quite a high likelihood. I think that we might actually see it reacting off that resistance level before coming back down again. So let me look at it on H4 time frame. I'll zoom in a little bit for you guys to see. Right, if it reacts off that resistance level of 13540, we could see it coming back down. Last week, I shared that I do expect the pound yen to move up towards that resistance before coming back down. Same view, same idea, but it hasn't come back down yet. So at this point, I do look towards it coming lower. Okay, so pound yen, again, look for it to come lower. Any questions so far? I went through 3 charts already. You all have been, I see everyone 100% focused. Any questions at this point? I'll give you a moment to give me some questions. And if you don't have any questions, I'm launching the poll on Zoom call, launching a poll where you find out about this webinar, Facebook, whether it's my Facebook Live, Telegram, Traders Club, or from a friend sharing a link, right? Give me your feedback there, please. Thank you very much. Okay, while you're doing that, I'll give you a couple of minutes. I'll send out some waves to everyone. Trying to do 5 things at one time, so that doesn't help. All right, so now that we've gone through that, let's look at what are the triggers of what could move the different currency pairs, especially the US yen, what could move it higher off the 107 level upwards. Okay, let me bring up the Forex Factory. All right, so one surprise that we had this morning was the Aussie. It doesn't affect the yen at this point, but the Aussie was giving us quite a surprise in terms of the employment number. I'll come to that later. Later tonight, we also have the US unemployment claims. Previously, it was 6606K, expected this week to be 5350K. We do expect to see quite a bad unemployment number from the US because of what's happening in terms of the virus. So we could see a worse number, but because this is a weekly number, I don't expect the impact to be too drastic, right? Something's going to happen. Market's going to move, but it's not going to be too crazy. It's probably going to move a little bit before the overall trend is going to resume again. Tomorrow we have Chinese GDP, doesn't do much, and then not much news after that. Because it's Thursday, let's look at what's going to happen next week. Monday is going to be a little bit quiet. Tuesday, a bit of cat news. Wednesday, a bit of cat news. Thursday, we've got heavy Euro news, right? And then on Friday, we have Euro news. So you can see that next week, remainder of this week and next week, we don't have that much US news happening. So there's not going to be a lot of triggers or big impact triggers that's possibly going to move the currency pair, the US yen, or to move the US dollar significantly at this point. The main triggers are going to be what happens in terms of the virus, what happens in terms of how the virus impacts the stock market and impacts the US dollar as well. So we've seen that with those, with the overlying of the virus situation right now, the US dollar, while it's been a bit volatile, it has been gaining a little bit of strength, primarily not only because of what's happening in the US, but what's happening globally. So I've said this a couple of times already, the US dollar seems to be gaining strength, right? But it's a bit because of in relative to everyone else. Everyone else seems to be weakening. That's why we see the US dollar gaining strength. Okay, so I do expect this to possibly continue. If I swing you back towards the charts again, right? So because we see it reacting, I do see the continuation of some US dollar strength bouncing off, especially for the US yen to bounce off this support and to move higher. Okay, so quick summary is that no real triggers in terms of economics or data release or news release that's going to trigger the move for the US dollar or for the yen. What I see is for the next couple of days, a possible continuation of trend and also a continuation of the longer term move as well at this point. Make sense to you all? All happy? Got a couple of you giving a thumbs up there, got a couple of you nodding there. So we'll move on. Okay, comes to everybody's favorite pair. Okay, we are looking at gold, right? If you're on Facebook Live, give me a thumbs up if you like trading gold. If you're on Zoom call, give me a big thumbs up or a big shout out if you like trading gold. Okay, a couple of you give me a thumbs up. Yes, yes, yes. So gold, okay, before I jump into gold, Hosu, I'll answer your question shortly. Gold at this point is at 1714. You know, we've seen over the past couple of days, we saw a big move for gold upwards, breaking the 1700 level, heading up to about almost 1750, right? Before that big tail and then possibly a move downwards now. So at this point for gold, last week I shared my view was that we could see it reacting to that resistance level at 16 or 1700 before a possible move downwards. It is, for me, it is still at that resistance level, so I'll still look for it to react to that level before coming back down. I wouldn't enter a trade. You know, I wouldn't be selling right now. I would be looking for it to break below 1690 before looking for a sell. Sounds fair, right? So quite straightforward for gold. If I were to get into a slightly, I would feel that it's a slightly more aggressive trade, which is to sell below 1690. A more conservative move will be for it to look to bounce off the 1690 level to move higher. Once it bounces off that now support level, I could see it moving higher. That would be possibly a safer trade to do because it is going to be following the overall upward move that has begun since the late March, in about the 20th of March, right? So possibly for a lot of the beginner traders, I would say look for a continuation trend following move, buy it up as it bounces off the 1690 level. If you're a bit more of an expert trader, you've got some profits, you're a bit more aggressive, then look to sell as if it breaks below the 1690 level. All right, quite straightforward there. Come to the questions. Wait, hang on. How do I bring up my questions? All right, so questions on the Zoom call. Hosun asked, does building data, does it not really affect the US dollar? At this point, building data usually does affect the US dollar, but at this point, I think that because we have such a big overlying systemic reason of the virus and what's happening in the US in terms of the virus, I expect that the building data is going to have a very small impact on the US dollar. So at this point, I'll try and maybe oversee it a bit. You know, I wouldn't pay too much attention to it at this point, right? I've got someone sent me a message privately. How do we set up on 3 take profits and take profits setup wise? I think you're referring to the trade signals that we sent out on Telegram. I will give me 2 minutes and I'll get back to you on that. I'll give you more information on that part. Any other questions about trading wise before I jump into the take profits and the signals? You're happy? Okay, so one thing I wanted to share with you all is also let me just bring that up. So one question I had was, how do we know how to set a take profits, how to apply, when to enter the trade, when to get out of a trade, basically, right? Let me just share with you this. Can you see Traders Club on Facebook? Yep. Right. So what we have is we have the LCMS Traders Club on Facebook. You know, just go search LCMS Traders Club. You'll find it there. At this, where we do it in this private group is we share the currency calls that we are doing. You know, we share the signals that we send out on a daily basis. You know, not just what signal it is, but the analysis behind the signals. So to tell you why we're getting into a trade, the real step-by-step systems coaching you through that signal why you want to enter that trade. At take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3, when to get out of a trade, whether you should get out at take profit 1 because it's outside of Bollinger Band, or whether you should get out of take profit 2, for example, because there's a news coming out, or whether you get out at take profit 3 because, it's take profit 3, you've got 60 pips in the bag already, get out. So different reasons why you want to get out. We coach you through the trade signals, not just fire out a signal to you and then leaving it all to yourself. So Daniel does all the signals there. He's been quite on the ball, sending out all those trade signals and analysis as well. You see that firing through as I scroll. I share with you news information. I give you the analysis, not just the news information, but a bit of analysis behind what that news information means. As I scroll through, we've got people sharing. Robbie's there, sharing your trade ideas. Before you enter a trade, put it up, and then we can give you comments on whether we think you should jump into that trade, whether it's a high risk or a bit of a lower risk trade, when to get in, or maybe to wait a little bit. Share your trade ideas, have someone that's going to be, you can be accountable with to help you through your trades. I post up funny stuff as well. We've got, if you entered a trade and lost money, you can actually share your trade, which I actually asked Ivy to do. So let's hope she'll post it up later. Trades that you made money or lost money, and you want to know why, right? Is it just bad luck that you lost money, or are you missing out a step, or trying to figure out what you have done right or what you have done wrong? Put it up there, and then I'll be there. I'll be commenting. I'll be guiding you through the whole trading process as well. So you can get into LCMS Traders Club on Facebook. How you join that, get onto lcms.com.sg/trader-s-club. We'll change that website quite quickly soon, right? So everything I talked about, trade signals are there. Learn from the signals, learn from our analysis. I give you a daily watch list, what to do, what trades to buy, what trades to sell. All right, I answer your questions there, telling you about giving you to live calls. So every day I do a currency analysis here with you. On Mondays, I do a weekly call where we have all our panel. We have Chinwei, we have Daniel, we have Kenneth, we have Jonathan, we have Scott in Australia, we have Kim Hong, we have a few other people around the world coming together, trying to share their views in the market. So we do that on a weekly live call for the members in the club, right? And then you can join. It's $49 per month, or you can join it annually at $199 per year. It's a no-brainer, right? It's a no-brainer. If I were you, join at $199 for the year. It just makes so much more sense. So if you want to join, click join now. You should, and I think it's going to be massively beneficial to your trading journey at this point. Okay, so LCMS Traders Club, that's where we share with you a lot more details and coach you through your trading process. At this point, okay, Elvin came up, but he has a question. After the circuit breaker lockdown, do you still have lessons that we can attend? Yes, I miss having lessons. I miss doing classes with everyone. So I am waiting for all of us to break out of this quarantine, waiting for all of us to break out of this lockdown, and have that confidence to sit together in a room, right? It's not just enough to break out of this quarantine and then no one dares to sit in the room together. So let's look for the point where we all sit together. We are all able to sit together. I would love to do another session where everyone can attend. We are also in plans of doing a trading camp. So a couple of us, a handful of us going away to a place, spend a good 3 or 4 days together, full intensive. You get to pick my brain. I would like to say 24 hours a day, but not 24 hours a day, close to that. right? So get to spend a lot more time together. We'll do another trading camp, but all that's going to be dependent on what happens in terms of this lockdown and in terms of this virus. If you're interested, reach out to us. Let us know that you want to do a course, whether it's in person or online, and especially if you want to come for a trading camp. We are in the plans of doing that already, so let us know. All right. Any other questions? I love the questions coming through. People, those who attended the training camp previously are getting super excited now because we managed to throw Kim Hong in the pool last time, and apart from that, they gained massively from that training camp, sitting together, trading together with me in person, side by side. Suyin said traders locked down together. What could happen? TPs together? Hey, yeah, of course. We traded together. It's been fantastic. All right. So to prevent me from rambling on and on and on again, I'll call an end to this session. It's 11:40. I'll call an end to this session. Please take note of the videos coming up. I'll upload this as quickly as I can. Join the LCMS Traders Club because it's going to be massively beneficial to your trading journey. Read the analysis, get onto the traded signals, reach out to me if you have any questions, and I would really massively appreciate it if you can share this webinar when I do upload it, or take a photo now, a selfie now, post it up, and then share it because it's free to join. So as many people get on board, we help as many people as we can. All right. So take care now. Trade safe. Don't over leverage. Don't oversize. Be conservative. Accumulate your profits. Grow your account by accumulating your profits. All right. I will see you all tomorrow, 11 o'clock, same time, same place. We'll be here. Thank you. Bye.